Hey guys, so Chanel has launched their Spring 26 beauty collection. It is their denim collection. I was really excited to see this. Honestly, I don't even know why. It's not like I wear a ton of blue eyeshadow or a ton of blue toned makeup, but I really love the novelty of this. I admit, I really love the novelty of this. So I purchased 8 products from this collection. So I didn't get everything. So let me show you what I did pick up. First, I picked up the hand cream. So this is the box packaging. Okay, pretty ordinary. But it's their hand cream that comes in a denim. Basically, they dressed it up. It has its own denim onesie. There's just nothing cuter than this. I think it's so adorable. And I love that they use like a light denim, so there's no mistaking it. It's not like a dark wash denim. It's like, oh, is that fabric? This very clearly is like a blue jean. Anyway, you've got the hand cream tucked away in the case, and I already have this hand cream, but now I have a handy dandy denim onesie for my egg-shaped Chanel hand creams. Really adorable. It even has like the double CCs on the zipper pull. How cute is that? Anyway, I feel like this is the product that's gonna sell out the fastest if it hasn't already sold out. So love that. I'm so glad I picked that up. And I actually ordered that or added it to my order late. I put everything else in there and I was like, oh, just throw in the hand cream too. He was like, okay, he being Gio, down in the Miami Chanel Beauty Boutique. He's absolutely wonderful. Anyway, yeah, I had him throw that in at the very end. I was like, oh, I kind of just need that little egg-shaped denim onesie for my hand cream. Of course, I did also get the highlighter. So here's the box packaging. And all of the products come with this denim pouch. All of the compact products, I should say, come in this denim pouch. And here is a close-up of the powder. And here's a swatch of this powder. Now, we'll definitely have to put it on my cheek to see the tone of it. But in the swatch, it really doesn't look very blue-toned. I mean, a little bit, you know, like when you kind of angle my hand a little bit, the darker, shall we say, quote-unquote, darker side of the highlight looks a little bit blue. But otherwise, it just kind of has like a silvery, cool tone, slightly pink kind of tone to it. So I'm excited because I thought, you know what, I'm getting this just as a collector. You know, I love, as you guys know, I love Chanel makeup, and I just wanted to get this as a collector's piece. I really don't think, or I didn't think that I'd be using a light icy blue highlighter very often, but if you don't really see the blue that much, I may actually wear this. So anyway, I'm excited to get this on my face, but that is a close-up of the actual highlighter and a swatch. I just want to make a quick mention right now that this was a little bit different. Usually these round powders, they come with like that half moon brush. No brush in this one, but I did get the little plastic cover to protect the product. And then on the back of this, do you see this? I've never seen this on any of the other Chanel compacts. I don't think this is refillable or anything like that. I just don't know. I don't know what that's for. Anyway, I just noticed that, thought I'd point it out. So that's the Coco Denim Illuminating Powder. And then I did also get both of the quads. And here's a close-up of Denim Dream. This is number 19. So this is the one that has the pink toned eyeshadow in there. These shadows are baked gel powder formula, so I'm very excited for that. I am very curious whether or not we're gonna be able to create like kind of like a wearable everyday look with these shadow colors. Blue eyeshadow is making a huge comeback this spring. We see these blue colors from Chanel. I think Guerlain came out with a quad with 2 blue colors, also with a pink and like a golden color. Farrah Homidi just launched 2 eyeshadow. One has like a really bright blue in there. So we're seeing a lot of blue, but spring is a great time to kind of lean into this whole like denim look. Just very interesting. And I am very curious whether or not I'm gonna be able to create like a very everyday kind of look with these blue eyeshadows. So anyway, that is the Denim Dream quad. And then I did also get the Coco Jean quad. And this one, I think I will definitely use more, only because the 3 shades that aren't blue are to me, very wearable. So here's a close-up of the quad, and here's some swatches. Now the blue in this palette is very bright. I think if I am gonna wear a blue, it's probably gonna be from the other palette, the one that's a little bit more silvery, frosty. That's my guess. I don't know. This is really gonna be an interesting kind of I don't know, challenge for me to see if I'll be able to incorporate any of these blue eyeshadows into my looks. But anyway, those are the 2 quads that I got. And then I did pick up all 4 of the Rouge Coco Flash shades that they came out with for this denim collection. So the most eye-catching one, shall we say, is the shade 284 Baby Blue. This one looks actually just like the highlighter, but in Rouge Coco Flash form. And here's a swatch of it. The swatch is actually, I don't know, it was kind of hard to catch. So anyway, I hope it comes across. And of course, I'll swatch it on my lips in just a bit. But it also, like the highlighter, doesn't look terribly blue. It just looks kind of silvery and frosty. So that's the Baby Blue Rouge Coco Flash. And then they did come out with 3 additional shades in Rouge Coco Flash. And we've got washed beige, faded orange, and then raw brown. Raw brown is the deepest one. So here are some swatches of those 3 shades too. And I wanted to show these 3 to you together because they're not similar, but I do feel like if you like one, you may like all of them, but you're not going to get all of them. So anyway, I just wanted to compare all 3 of these for you. I think washed beige is going to be a great kind of nude shade. The faded orange is quite orange, so very, very warm tone. I don't know if that's going to be for everyone. And then that raw brown looks really beautiful, a little bit more dramatic. If you have a deeper skin tone, it'll look beautiful. So I'm really excited for those new Rouge Coco Flash shades because you know how much I love that formula. One of my all-time favorite lip formulas. So enough yip-yapping. Those are all the things that I got. Let's go ahead and start applying this stuff. Don't mind this weird blemish I got in the middle of my cheek. I very rarely get blemishes now that I'm 52, but here we are. Just big ol' zit right next to my sunspot. So it looks like I've got this giant, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, let me start with a primer. I'm gonna go in with my Sublimage primer here. This is the one that twists up. So cool. This is just a great lotiony primer, especially if you have dry skin. It has like a really subtle gold kind of sheen to it. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, really subtle gold sheen to it. I love this primer. And it really smooths out my skin. It's not just like a glorified moisturizer. It really is a nice primer. Okay, we've got that on. And then I wanted to use the Le Beige. I got a shade lighter than the shade that I used to use because I finished that one up. And I feel like I'm getting paler. So anyway, I went with light, but I feel like light is too light. So I brought out the No. 1 de Chanel, the Camellia Skin Enhancer in soft pink. I thought maybe that could help because this does add like a little bit of like a deeper pigmentation. So you know what, I'm gonna put this on, see how I feel, because you know, we are deep in winter and I'm at the palest I think I've ever been. So let's see if this works. I'm just gonna pump some out onto the back of my hand. And I have this teeny tiny Chanel flat top, and I've got this teeny tiny Chanel flat top kabuki style brush. I think this came with a different foundation. Anyway, I'm gonna use it with this Water Fresh tint. Yeah, it's really, really white, which is so surprising because this Water Fresh tint is so light, but I feel like you can really see how pale it is on my skin. So interesting. Okay, there we go. I look really pale. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of this. I'm just gonna place it kind of strategically where I would kind of bronze and highlight. Just gonna pump a little bit of that onto the back of my hand. I'm just gonna take the same brush. And then I'm gonna go in with the new concealer. So I have this in shade BR12, I think. Sorry, the writing is so small and I can't remember. I think it's BR12, but this is their new concealer. So I'm just gonna apply this around my eyes. And I do like this concealer. It's just unfortunate that I tried it pretty much at around the same time I tried the new Suku Creamy Cover Concealer, and that one I think is just better. This one is really lovely. It's great. It's just not as good as the Suku. So let me blend this in. I've got my BK Beauty A506 brush. Okay, I'm also gonna add some of the cream bronzer in. So this is the Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. I think everyone knows this product. And I do have it in 390 is the shade Soleil Tan Bronze. I'm going to use my BK Beauty 106 brush. Try and warm up my complexion with this as well. Kind of just slather that all over my face just to bring a little bit of color back. You know what's so funny? I never fell in love with this product because I felt like the tone was just a little bit off for my skin tone, but I think because I've gotten so pale, it actually is kind of working. I'm like liking it better, or I'm liking it more than I remember liking it. Yeah, I gotta remember to use this more. Anyway, let's move on. I've got this Rose Ardent Cream to Powder Blush. I am just gonna go ahead and use the same brush, this 106 brush from BK Beauty. And I picked out this Rose Ardent color because it is probably the most neutral out of all of the cream to powder blushes, and I love those blushes. I usually use the beige Eclatant one, but that one I think is too warm for this whole denim collection. God, this blemish is really throwing me off. I feel like my blush looks really out of whack. Okay, we're just gonna have to deal with it. All right, time to use the highlighter. I'm so excited. So here it is before I completely ruin the embossing on there. Let's just take one last look. So beautiful. I'm gonna use my Surratt brush. This is the cheek brush, I believe it's called. Yeah, the cheek brush. I'm just gonna dip it right in. This is like a pressed powder formula, I believe. I don't think this is like a baked formula, so it shouldn't be difficult to pick up or anything. No, I see the brush picking it up nicely. Okay, I'm putting like a heavy amount on because I really want, you guys, I also want to get like a really good sense of the color. And yeah, now I see it. I'm probably on like the 4th or 5th layer now. And now I'm starting to see some of that blue coming through. But if you apply this lightly, it's just a really nice kind of cool toned, silvery kind of highlight. And then there's a lot of pink in there actually. Wow, it's so surprising because you would never get that by looking at this highlighter, right? It looks like it's gonna be like a very scary, probably bruise-like looking product on your face, but I think it's actually quite nice. I think this is actually kind of like a wearable product for me. It's not too funky. It's not too funky. All right, I'm gonna apply some on this side. Let's do it again. Let's make sure that wasn't a fluke. It really isn't very blue at all. You know what, I'm gonna go stand in some natural sunlight. I'm gonna take my iPhone and I'll put up that footage here just so you can see whether or not in actual broad daylight, what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just standing in front of my door here and I get a lot of light through this door. So this is a lot of sunshine on my cheeks and there is no, I don't know, there's no like blue tint or blue tinge. It doesn't look too, I mean, I hate to use the word weird, but it doesn't look too funky, you know, on the cheeks. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I thought for sure this was gonna be a product that I just got, kind of kept in my drawer, took out every once in a while, admired it and put it back. I think I'm actually gonna be able to use this highlighter. It's very pretty. Man, I'm so excited. Yes. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Okay. Wow, not very often do you come across a collection that's very novel. There's like a very distinct theme to it. And, you know, usually it just, I feel like it goes off the rails really quickly. Like they lean in maybe a little bit too hard and it's like, wow, that was way too literal. And then the makeup becomes just a little bit too, what's the word? Novel. It just becomes a little bit too like quirky or just like a little bit too specific. But this is amazing. This is such a nice combination of like, it looks cool. It's like perfect for collectors. It comes with a little denim pouch. And it's totally wearable. All right, well, I've got high hopes for these eyeshadows. Okay, so I'm gonna do one quad on one eye, one quad on the other so we can see them both in action. I'm gonna start with this one. This is the Denim Dream one. This is the one with the pink. I swatched this one for you guys first. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna use the pink kind of as like a transition shade. And I've got my Refer number 15 blender brush. And now I've got my Refer number 1 brush. I'm gonna go into the light blue frosty shade over here. And I'm gonna apply that to the inner portion of my lid here. I like how frosty this is. I'm just gonna take the same brush and go into the deeper blue shade here. Again, I'm like really kind of pleasantly surprised how wearable this look is. You know, when I look at these shadows, you know, minus the silver one, I haven't used that yet. This seems like very unusual for me. I don't usually use that many colors, right, between the pinks and the blues. I usually, as you guys know, stick to nudes, browns, you know, maybe I do a little like warm, kind of like rusty, you know, orange, peachy shade or something, but I never really use colors like this. And I just don't like really bold, I mean, not for the everyday, right? Every once in a while, sure, it's fun, don't mind it or whatever, but for the everyday, I just, you know, I generally like those like really neutral shades. But this is actually a really nice, wearable, kind of everyday, different look. It's like just different enough, but it doesn't cross the line into like theatrical or dramatic. And I love that. I love that. Yeah, this is so, so great. Okay, so for the silver shade, where could I use that? I mean, I guess I could continue brightening up my inner corner. I could put some actually in my tear duct area. Let's do that. Let's try that. I've got my Sonia G flat definer brush. Throwing it in there, maybe a little down here. Oh, this shade has a little bit of fallout. I'm actually gonna take a little bit more of that and add it onto my lid here. Yeah, that brightens up the whole area and kind of carries this over. Very pretty. Works very well. I love the Chanel Baked Gel formula for their eyeshadows. Always such a winner. They always go on like, they just blend out like a dream. You know what I mean? They go on like you just like applied it like at like a whisper, like a cloud over your eyelids. So fun. Okay, so that is the Denim Dream. Let's try the Coco Jean palette. So that's this guy. And I think the challenge for me is really trying to incorporate that electric blue, cobalt blue shade in a very wearable way. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm really gonna focus in on the blue shadow. I'm gonna use it to like line my eyes and kind of create like a wing. Let's try that. Oh, you know what I'm reminded of too? Tom Ford actually sent me a PR package that was inspired by their spring 26 runway look. And it had their Daydream palette, which is like blues and purples, which I don't even think they make anymore. And then a whole bunch of eyeliners. One was turquoise, one was like a cobalt blue, and one was purple. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but spring is all about these blues for the eyes. I'm gonna try and build this up a little bit because it looks a little bit patchy. Oh yeah, there we go. Really, really fun. I feel like I'm being brought back to my childhood when I used to just daydream about looking like, you know, Farrah Fawcett and Cheryl Teague and all of the beautiful like California blondes with their blue eyeshadow. That is what this color is reminding me of. It's like very Love Boat and Fantasy Island. Okay, I'm gonna take my M13 BK Beauty Nikki LaRose brush. I'm gonna go into this like silvery taupe shade, and so excited for the shade. You guys know. Do I even need to say that anymore? If there's like a taupey, a silvery taupey shade. So excited. Okay, I'm gonna just blend this on top. Let's see if that works. Ooh, wow. You know, I don't even think I noticed this when I swatched these, but this silvery taupe shade actually has like a blue shift to it. Because when I was just applying it, I was like, oh no, am I dragging too much of the blue up? No, it's that shade. Wow. I think they did such a good job with this collection, really incorporating that denim blue everywhere, but in such a beautiful, like subtle way. It's not too much. This would actually make a great, I really am a broken record. This would actually make a great one and done shade because of that little bit of blue in there. Oh, it just makes it so fun and interesting, that shade. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm taking a number 2 Rephr brush and I'm going into the dark brown shade, and I'm gonna use that to deepen up my lash line here. I don't even think you can see that. Maybe a little? Let me just see if I can accent a wing with that. Okay, I don't know if that deep brown is kind of coming through, but it's kind of making this look a little bit more smoky. This being the blue shadow, it's making the blue shadow look a little kind of smoky. I think the next time I try this shadow, I want to layer the blue on top of the brown because I feel like it'll give it a nice kind of smoky base. But that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to take that Sony G flat definer brush. I'm going to go into the gold shade. I just want to see if it even kind of shows up over the blue. Not really. Let me try my fingers. This is such a pretty gold. It's almost, I mean, not quite, but it's almost peachy. It's okay. These shadows aren't layering that well because I feel like the blue is so bold that everything else, like the brown and this gold, are kind of getting eaten up by it. So I'd have to not layer them. I'd have to just kind of place them and then like kind of blend them into one another, but they're not like layering quite right. I don't know if you can see that, like they're starting to get a little bit muddy, but I think that's definitely my fault. That's, you know, the learning curve, right? Of getting a new palette. Wow, that's fun though. And again, I've got blue eyeshadow on, but I don't feel like I look like, whoa, like I'm making like, wow, like such a statement with my eyeshadow. It's subtle. It's subtle, even though it's so bright in the pan, but they're just like this really nice wash. So happy with everything so far, especially that highlighter. I'm so excited. I'm so excited I can use it. Okay, let me just throw on some eyeliner. I've got the Victoria Beckham, what shade is this? The Navy Noir. I don't think this is exactly bright enough, but it's fine. It's the only blue eyeliner I have back here. So I'm just gonna tight line and do my lower lash line too. Oh, I think you can really see the blue in the lower waterline. Okay, I have a little Le Volume de Chanel sample here. I used to love this mascara, and then I discovered other mascaras that I felt like kept my curl better. But this one isn't, it's not bad. It keeps it for a little while, but my lashes do eventually kind of kaplooey. Okay, eyes done. I'm so excited to try these Rouge Coco Flash lipsticks on. I, of course, have to start with this baby blue. I have high hopes because I don't think I'm going to end up with like, I don't know, a lip look that makes me look like I'm frostbitten. I think this is just going to be a nice kind of silvery, frosty look. Oh yeah, very cool tone, very frosty, and a little bit of a blue tint, but because it's on my lips, it actually looks more like it's like a lilac. I love it. I don't look like I have frozen lips. Amazing, so exciting. Okay, I'm gonna take this off and we'll try the others. Okay, here is Washed Beige. I have to admit, I was a little surprised that they came out with such warm shades for such a cool toned collection. These frosty eyeshadows, that frosty highlight. And then for these Rouge Coco Flash, aside from that baby blue, for the rest of these to be so warm, I thought, oh, that's so unusual. But blue and orange is so complementary. It's like they're, what are those, complementary colors on the color wheel, that it works so well. So well. Okay, so that's Washed Beige. Here is Faded Orange. And for my swatches, this is the warmest, brightest one out of the four. I do love an orange lip. Oh, you guys, this is fun. So there is Faded Orange. This is so pretty. This is definitely an orange. I feel like if you've been tempted to get like an orange lipstick, but it's always been like a little bit too intimidating, this is really nice because it's faded, right? Faded orange. It sure is. Okay, and last but not least, we've got Raw Brown. Ooh, I like that. So dramatic. I love a brown lipstick. Oh, that's so pretty. Does it match my nails? Almost. I think it's a bit warmer than my nails. Oh my God, okay. Well, you guys, I am really impressed with this collection. It beat my expectations. You know, I had high expectations in terms of like the packaging and like the color stories and the actual formulas or whatever, right? We just love the Bake Shelf formula and their eyeshadows, and their highlighters are always so beautiful, especially their limited edition ones. But I really wasn't expecting all of this to actually be wearable, to be pieces that I would use or think of on the everyday. I really am the most excited about this highlighter. It's really gorgeous. It's really, really gorgeous. And these eyeshadows are just fun. It's almost like blue is the new neutral. Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Of course, we'll link to everything down below in my description box. They'll be tagged here on YouTube. And if you are watching me on mobile and you are able to, go ahead and hype this video down below if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.